So I want to do a couple videos for you all where we kind of discuss the basics of piano. I'm gonna assume everybody knows the names of the notes on the piano. You got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, depending on what key we're in. I want to talk to you all a little bit about major scales. I mentioned it in Freedom when I was giving you all that tutorial, how the major scale was E, the key of E was E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So a major scale is a pattern of half steps and whole steps. So a half step is going from C to C sharp. That's a half step. Maybe you remember that sound from Jaws. That's a half step. And then a whole step is C to D. For any sports fans, if you watch SportsCenter, that's a whole step. So there's a specific pattern of whole steps and half steps that make up a major scale. So I can start on any note on the piano, and if I do that pattern of half steps and whole steps, I'm going to play the major scale. So let's start on C. It's the easiest one to start on. So the pattern starts, you go a whole step. So a whole step from C is D. And then another whole step, D to E. And then a half step to F. Another whole step, F to G. Whole step, G to A. Whole step, A to B. And then a half step, B to C. And that's our major scale. So no matter which note I start on the piano, if I do that pattern of half steps and whole steps, it's going to be a major scale. So if I go to D, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Same thing with E, which is where we had our Freedom, was in that key. And that just means it's in that key means those are the notes that you're going to be using, unless there's something called accidentals, which we're not going to cover. Those are the notes that you're going to be using. It also means that those are the notes that your chords are going to be built on. So the chords in the key of C, notice that the chords that I just played and the scale use all the same notes. There's not any of those black notes in the key of C. So that's a brief look at a major scale, what it is, and that's really what we use in worship music today. Like the majority of worship songs you'll see out there, they use major scales and major keys. So that's your major scale tutorial. Feel free to practice that. Make sure you're fingering, if you're going to be doing the C major, you go thumb, pointer, middle, and your thumb goes underneath with your right hand. Thumb, pointer, middle, ring, pinky. And then the same thing in reverse going down. So practice that, and like always, practice with your metronome, and those are major scales.